Hey Commodores fans, welcome into the pregame show. We are back at Spillane Field. David Korzanowski joined alongside Danny LaRose. Not only are we back at Spillane Field, the rainouts have been back.
Yeah, we haven't had back-to-back rainouts since June. We shouldn't have had that at all this summer. I don't think we had one at all of last summer, but whatever. They're back. We haven't had one since June. We were supposed to have 4 games in 4 days at Spillane Field. We've had 1 in 3.
Right.
This is our 3rd time now at Spillane Field and never have gotten out of the first inning. So hopefully 3rd time's the charm. In Wareham.
Yeah, the rest of the season for the Commodores is going to be a grind. 16 games in the next 13 days. And keep in mind, one of those days is the All-Star game. So the Commodores have 3 doubleheaders coming up, and the first of which is today here against the Gatemen. A really important matchup, and one pitcher who will be going in Game 2 is with Katie Florio talking about today, the rainouts, and the rest of the season. That's Justin Wroblewski. Katie, take it away. Thanks so much, Katie and Justin. Danny, I want to look at the pitching matchups for today, particularly the Commodores starters in Carmen Majinski and Justin Wroblewski.
Carmen Majinski has been brilliant. We talked about him being a potential all-star snub because this guy just racks up the strikeouts like nothing else. He's got 31 strikeouts over his 4 appearances, and he's never gone more than 5 innings. Multiple outings, he's gone 5 innings with 10 strikeouts. Just unreal, and that's exactly what you needed to do against this Wareham team. We saw a lot of strikeouts against Wareham a couple days ago when Falmouth won 3-1, and that's a very important thing to do against a team where when they get contact, it comes in bunches and they get guys rolling. But if you can keep them off the bases and keep them swinging through pitches, which is what Carmen does great, then you're looking good.
Looking at the Game 2 start of the man we just talked to in Justin Wroblewski, it's his first start of the summer.
Yeah, Justin hasn't gotten off to a great start this summer. Got a 10+ ERA, all of the appearances out of the bullpen. So maybe he'll find some magic being a starter. Maybe he'll settle into more of a groove. You know, not coming into situations where runners are on base, which is a huge thing. He'll be starting every inning. He says he hasn't had a start since March when he was at Clemson. He's been a bullpen pitcher throughout the pretty much half a year now, but hopefully things go well for Justin, who's really looking for a bounce-back outing this time around to lower that ERA.
Commodores taking on the Wareham Gatemen. Matchup number 3 and 4 coming up this afternoon at Spillane Field. So far, as Falmouth is 2-0 versus Wareham, trying to make it 4-0 by the end of the day and gain some more standings in the Western Division. For Danny LaRose and Katie Florio, I'm David Korzanowski saying so long. We'll see you for Game 1, 4:30, first pitch here on YouTube Live.
Good afternoon and welcome to this broadcast on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. David Korzanowski joined alongside Danny LaRose. Happy to be with you this afternoon for the Wareham Gatemen versus the Falmouth Commodores twice. Game 1 starting here at 4:30. Game 2 starting about 45 minutes after the close of this first game. 7-inning games here on this Friday afternoon as the Wareham Gatemen wearing the red shirt Fridays with the red jerseys and the white Cape Cod across the front, white pants, and their maroon and blue striped socks. Commodores wearing their road blacks with the maroon lettering, gray pants, and maroon stirrups. Danny, we had a couple rainouts, but we're back in the booth. How you feeling about these 2 games?
I'm excited that they're going to be played. Back-to-back rainouts is never fun. The rain has come and gone. It is nice to being sunny and clear skies and hot and humid, so good to know that all that rain did nothing, and we're going to be playing some baseball, so that's the good thing.
Hayden Cantrell gets ready to lead things off for the Commodores. Starting on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen is Levi Prater from Oklahoma. 5th appearance of the summer and 2nd start. First pitch lofted into shallow right center. Tora Atsuka is under it, shields the sun and makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out. We are underway.
Something we see from Hayden a lot is swinging at the first pitch to lead off games. And we've talked about it a lot, how you don't like when your leadoff man does that because you want him to take pitches. You want to see what the other guy's got, especially a guy like this. I mean, someone who's been shoving against just about everybody, but Hayden usually gets hits out of it.
Blake Dunn takes a ball high and away. He's batting second tonight for the Commodores. Batting third is Zach DeLoach, leading the Cape League in batting average. Third in the lineup. This one's grounded over towards third base and through the glove of Matt McClain into left field. That's an E5 on your scorecard, and Blake Dunn is aboard with one out.
And that was hit right at McClain. I mean, it's almost like he's got a hole in that glove. He fielded it well. It went right up into his mitt and just kind of skipped right out of it. He wasn't playing in front of it, was, so casual with it that he wasn't able to block it even after it rattled off his glove. But I'm not even sure what happened there. I mean, it's weird how sometimes errors can occur like that.
Especially here at Spillane Field. There's some dirt on the mound and around home plate, but the base paths and the infield, all gravel. Prater pitching from the stretch. The lefty from Oklahoma delivers high, 1-0. Finish out that Commodores order. Trey Cruz batting cleanup and playing short. Tyler Ross batting fifth. Playing first, Steven Moretto in the sixth spot. Matt Nelson batting seventh and designated hitting. As another ball comes in to DeLoach, it's 2-0. Last two in the order, Troy Claunch, the catcher, and Tim Tawa, who's playing left field. Prater with a 2-0 count, and Blake Dunn on first. Dunn hustles back into the first base bag. Manning that is Jacob Teeter. Gatemen keeping the same lineup that was supposed to be fielded on Wednesday night. These two teams met here at Spillane. They got the top half of the inning in, and then lightning in the bottom led to another cancellation. Here's a hard hit ball out to deep center field. Backtracking is Braden Ward. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch. Long run for Braden Ward out into that very deep part of this ballpark. And Zach DeLoach is a flyout victim.
You can't get much better contact than that. I mean, off the bat, I thought DeLoach really put a ride into one. Thought it was going to be a double, if not a home run, but he just put it into the worst part of the ballpark. I mean, just as deep as you can get in dead center field. Credit Ward with tracking it all the way and making that play look easy. But, I mean, that's one of the smoothest, best swings and most solid contact I have seen from any of these guys in the last couple of days.
Dunn is going. It's an outside pitch, so not even trying to throw down is Dallas Beaver, the catcher. Dunn with another swiped bag. He's now tied. He's at second, for stolen bases on the team with 12. Hayden Cantrell leads the way with 14 of his own. Trey Cruz at the plate with a 1-0 count. Prater, who has a .77 ERA this summer, has been outstanding. High fly ball into right field again. This is how we started the inning, and Atsuka makes the catch in right. Hayden Cantrell flies out to right to start the inning. Trey Cruz flies out in the same direction to end the inning. They leave one stranded on no hits, one error, and one runner left on base. To the bottom half of the first we go. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Bottom of the first inning here at Spillane Field. We'll walk you through the Gateman batting order. It's the same exact lineup that Jerry Weinstein, the manager, fielded on Tuesday. But they did not get up to the plate in that game. So leading off is Braden Ward, the center fielder, batting .330. Darren Baker batting second and playing second, son of the legendary Dusty Baker. Jacob Teeter batting third Playing first, Adrian Del Castillo, a Miami Hurricane, cleaning up and designated hitting. Matt McClain from UCLA, he had an error in the top of the first. He's batting fifth, playing third. Dallas Beaver, the catcher, in the sixth spot. Benjamin Sems, Tora Atsuka, and Mike Antico, 7, 8, and 9. Sems playing short, Atsuka in right, Antico in left. Carmen Majinski on the mound for the Commodores, and he has been another ace on this team, particularly striking guys out.
Yeah, that's his biggest thing. I mean, he's got 7 strikeouts at least in every single outing. 3 outings with 7 Ks, 1 outing with 10 Ks, and none of those outings did he go past 5 innings of work. I mean, that is pretty incredible, the fact that in one of those he was able to get 2 strikeouts, per inning, objectively, and still with no wins on the season. I mean, it's incredible how he's able to put together these great outings and hasn't gotten much run support. I mean, the most run support he's gotten was 9 in a 9-9 tie all the way back on June 14th.
Majinski still with no decisions on the summer. This is start number 5. He was supposed to be the starting pitcher on June 22nd against the Gatemen. He fired 2 pitches, and then there was another strike of lightning out in center field. Rain and hail came in about 20 minutes later, and that game was rained out. Ward shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike.
Yeah,
Go on, David. Calling balls and strikes is Charlie Curcio behind the plate, Larry Rosenberg at first, and Jeff Kinney at third.
I was going to say, we are 0 for 2 at Spillane Field.
Yes, we are.
Hopefully we get 2 games in now.
The 0-1 check swing. He went around. And Majinski picking up right where he left off. He's up 0-2.
Yeah, it's the thing with Carmen is that he just throws so many early strikes that he always puts himself in a great opportunity to strike guys out. It's usually pretty seamless for him.
Sun beating down here in Wareham, Massachusetts. The bill of Carmen's hat shielding his eyes as he looks in to Troy Clonch. Shakes off his catcher a few times and delivers. Fastball high, 1-2. Gatemen first place in the West Division, now tied for first with Catuit. They each have 35 points. Commodores not far behind at 31 points. Check swing. Did he go around? Appeal down to third. Yes, he did. Says third base ump Jeff Kinney. And a first strikeout of the night for Carmen Majinski, and something leads me to believe it won't be his last.
Yeah, he's already off to a rocking start. I like this angle for that reason.
Yeah.
He's able to tell that he went around, obviously. Usually we're right behind home plate, and we're just like, all right, well, their guess is as good as ours. But no, that was very obvious that he went around. Great movement on an upstairs pitch from Majinski. Ward knew that it wasn't going to hit the strike zone, but those are so tough to lay off when they move that much.
Gatemen 17-13-1 this year. Commodores 15-12-1. Darren Baker takes a strike down the pipe. He's down 0-1. Commodores are 2-0 in games that they've completed against Wareham. They won 8-5 in the first matchup of the year and 3-1 on Tuesday. Strike number 2 at the knees, 0-2 yet again.
He's really hitting his spots. I mean, that thing barely clipped the knees, but just enough to be called a strike. That is a beautiful pitch.
Darren Baker batting .333 on the summer. Cracks one up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Nice 2-strike hitting from the second baseman. He's aboard with 1 out.
And that's something that Baker does so well, is he is so hard to put down on strikes. We saw that in the game these two teams played on Tuesday night, where when he got deep into counts, he was just fouling things off like crazy, and then usually getting on base. He got on base 3 times in that ball game at 5 plate appearances, had 2 hits. Well, he's got yet another single this time around, upping that average. Just such a good contact hitter, the perfect guy in the 2-hole.
Brings up Jacob Teeter, .301 average on the summer, playing first base for the Gatemen. He takes a ball low, 1-0. Darren Baker on first base. He has 10 stolen bases on the summer. Majinski from the stretch, the righty from South Carolina, kicks and delivers. Another fastball at the knees, and he has had a heavy dosage of fastballs to start this game.
Yeah, when you're hitting the strike zone this often, why not? Usually we see Carmen spicing it up a lot, but so far so good with the fastball, at least through the first couple batters.
The 1-1, instead he checks on Baker at first. He extends that right arm and touches the bag safely. Baker wears number 11 for the Gatemen. rising junior at Cal. The .334 average his sophomore year. Majinski's 1-1. Another fastball swung on and missed. Strike 2. Wind blowing ever so slightly here at Spillane Field, out towards left field, as the flag behind the fence and right flutters a little bit. Sparse cloud cover, and the sun is beating down on us as it gives the right fielders here a little bit of tough time when those fly balls are in the air. The 1-2. Fouled into the high school behind and then back onto the field. He stays alive at 1-2.
Got to be careful with Baker on first. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go any one of these pitches. Challenge Claunch with 2 strikes. Maybe you're expecting Majinski to go down in the dirt with a breaking ball, can take it easily. And Baker steals a lot. I mean, he's got 4 stolen bases in his last 2 games. Plenty of speed from him.
Checks on Baker again. He slides in safely. At the plate, Jacob Teeter, junior at Florida Southern, who had a .316 average last year. From Melbourne, Florida. He's down 1-2 in the count. Majinski fires. Chopper over towards Cantrell. Underhanded to Cruz. Flip onto first. That's a double play. 4-6-3 double play on the high ground ball. Cantrell to Cruz to Ross to end the inning. Majinski allows a 1-out single, but he faces the minimum. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the 2nd inning we go. 0-0 here from Wareham. You're listening to the Falmouth.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Top of the 2nd inning, Ross, Moretto, and Nelson due up next for Falmouth. Levi Prater allowed just 1 base runner, and it was because of an error by Matt McLean in the top of the 1st inning. First pitch swinging is Ross. Pop fly to right field. That's been a hot spot today, and Otsuka makes yet another catch, 1 down.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about right field. Prater's a lefty, and all 3 guys who have hit it out to right were switch hitters batting righty. There's got to be something there that somebody much smarter than me can figure out a pattern with.
To me, I think it's just they're a little bit late on the fastball.
Then why wasn't Blake Dunn? Because he pulled it.
Maybe Blake Dunn wasn't late on the
a little
fastball.
quicker.
Ball 1 misses high to Steven Moretto. 3rd baseman tonight. I'm going to say tonight a lot, but it's not night yet. It's afternoon. Ground ball down the 3rd baseline, foul. He's got a 1-1 count and a .203 average this summer. Best game of the year was about a week ago against Brewster. He was 3 for 4 with a home run, a run scored in a 4-3 loss in 10 innings. The 1-1. He watches it way outside.
David, how about Levi Prater? Did we talk about him enough yet?
We have not.
I mean,
nearly enough.
This guy is ridiculous. He's got Ian Bedell type numbers, and Bedell's starting the All-Star game for the West.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Can't be squeezed by Beaver. 2-2 count.
2-1 record, .77 ERA over 11 2/3. The only reason he's not starting is because he doesn't go very long into games. His longest outing was 4 innings of work against Bourne his last time out, but he's only had 1 game where he's let up an earned run.
A ball to Moretto makes it a full count. And unless I missed it, I think he's an all-star snub as well. He was not named to the all-star team.
That's ridiculous.
3-2. Stays alive with another foul ball down the third base line.
He literally has one earned run
Yeah.
over nearly 12 innings pitched.
8 all-stars for Wareham. Or it's actually 7. And the only pitchers, Ian Bedell and Trent Palmer. Hard hit ball into left center. This should get down, but it doesn't. Stays up in the air for Braden Ward, who makes the catch for out number 2.
Hey, everybody's getting really good contact right now. They're getting, I mean, I guess you could say they're getting under the ball because everybody's hit a fly ball except for when Dunn hit his grounder. But I think that they're lining them up pretty well. Moretos was lined up very well. Deloach is absolutely. Ross got a little under his, but still shut off the power. I think they're getting really solid contact right now. And to be honest, Prater's getting lucky.
Prater starts with off speed to Matt Nelson. Takes strike 1. Nelson 1 for 21 this summer for a .48 batting average, something he wants to up this weekend with his parents in town. He takes a curveball low, 1-1.
Yeah, his last hit came July 7th versus Harwich, his only hit, so it's been a long time.
Strike number 2 at the knees, 1-2 is the count. Yeah, so just double-checked. Prater not an all-star.
Absurd.
Carmen Majinski might have a case to be an all-star as well with his strikeout numbers as a ball is spiked in the dirt to make it 2-2.
Yeah, you know what I was wondering earlier today was with scouts, and obviously we don't get to see the scouts, maybe, can look over, see who's holding the radar gun, but don't talk to them, there's got to be, out of 5 games on the Cape, 10 teams, there's good players on every single team. What's the one game where guys are going to it and they're like, we got to get out to Wareham today, as that one's fouled away, or we got to get out to Chatham today to see this guy. I would think maybe Deloach would warrant that, having a 400-plus average for most of the time, and that's had to have happened in previous years. And I think this is that matchup. We got to get to Wareham today. It's Majinski versus Prater. Like, we can't miss that.
Right. 2 guys who have been absolutely outstanding this summer pitching for Power 5 schools. Another off-speed pitch misses away for a second straight full count, 3-2 to Matt Nelson.
It's something Nelson's really good at is getting walks. I mean, for as much as he's not getting hits, he's getting a lot of walks on the season and hit by pitches too.
Strike 3, got him looking. He already flipped the bat back to the dugout, thought that he was going to get another walk this summer, but instead he gets another strikeout. That is strikeout number 8 of the summer for Matt Nelson, and he moves to 1 for 22. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Levi Prater. He's only allowed 1 base runner, and it was on an error. Commodores head back out to the field for the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Four, 5, and 6 due up for Wareham here in the bottom of the second inning. Adrian Del Castillo, Matt McLean, and Dallas Beaver. As Majinski struck out 1 in the first inning, which is below his usual pace. He averages about 2 strikeouts per inning, which is just insane. Kate up the first batter he saw today in Braden Ward. Delivers from the windup, looked like off speed for a strike to Del Castillo.
It's going to be tough to K up Del Castillo. He did not strike out a lot at Miami, but last time I said that, he struck out on the very next pitch, so maybe it'll pay off for Carmen.
Second pitch is a ball just away to the lefty Del Castillo, who perhaps might be another all-star snub. 284 average, 6 doubles, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. Ground ball to Ross. He takes it himself, taps the bag, 1 down.
Last couple of games that Tyler's played at first base, he looks like he's really settled into the position. I mean, the first time we saw him there were some errors.
I believe there were 3 errors in his first start at first.
Those types of ground balls didn't really look like he had them down, but it looks like he's put in a lot more work. Is that one? He got his butt right down. He kept his body low, watched it into the glove, got to the base himself, did everything just so mechanically right.
Majinski working some ground outs here early. He had an ending double play off the bat of Jacob Teeter. First fastball to Matt McClain with a loud pop into the glove of Troy Claunch, 0-1. McClain batting .333 this summer. Here's a ground ball up in our direction. Hops over the dugout and back towards the high school behind us, 0-2.
Matt McClain loved our shenanigans video.
Did he?
DM'd the Instagram account with the 100 reaction.
Love that. If you haven't checked out that video, it's on Instagram and Twitter, at Falmouth Commodores. Some outstanding work by our videographer as an off-speed pitch misses low to McClain. About a 1-minute, 45-second compilation of some of the funniest shenanigans, as we like to put it, of these guys on camera behind Danny and myself, and especially behind Katie and whoever she's interviewing. Ground ball over towards third, fielded on 2 hops by Moretto. Throw across the diamond. It bounces past Tyler Ross. Heading towards second base is Matt McClain, and he will stop there. Throw from Moretto looked solid, a little bit short, but a high hop ate up Tyler Ross for the first base runner of this inning.
You know what? I was talking the other day with Trey Cruz and Tim Tawa, and Cruz seemed to believe that first base was the easiest infield position. Tawa said it wasn't, and I think that's the reason why it's not. I mean, you get those types of picks in the dirt where they skip up like that. Just after I was praising Tyler Ross for looking so sure at first base, and that's not his fault. I mean, he's not a natural first baseman, but that's one of those where it really separates the men from the boys, and that was a really tough pick to make. Kind of ate him up a little bit as it went to the most awkward spot. Couldn't extend his arm at all.
McClain fielded that at, Moretto fielded that at about mid-depth in the infield. Ball 1 from Majinski. He didn't like the call, as Dallas Beaver is now up at the plate with a man in scoring position. It's ruled a throwing error on Moretto. The 1-0. Fastball swung on and fouled back, 1-1. Moretto fielded it about 4 or 5 feet behind third base. Took his time, threw over to first, and it skipped right where the gravel, I should say, not the dirt, meets the grass in front of first base, and it hopped up past the glove of Tyler Ross. McClain moved over to second where he stands now. The 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2. Majinski had a base runner in the first inning after a 1-out single from Darren Baker. He was retired on the double play. No double play in order here. Dallas Beaver also with a .333 average, has a 1-2 count against him. He, McClain, and Darren Baker all tied for the team lead in batting average at .333. Braden Ward just below them at .330. This is a team with 7 guys batting above .300. Best offensive team on the Cape, team batting average of .291.
Sheesh.
The 1-2 from Majinski. Ball outside, 2-2. Majinski wipes his mouth, adjusts his hat, puts his right foot on the rubber and looks into Claunch. They agree on the first sign, settles with the glove at his belt, looks back to McClain, lifts his left leg and fires. Fastball that's roped down the first base line, but foul.
You know, speaking of Wareham's success at the plate, I mean, we talked about it a little bit in that shortened game a couple days ago, but we saw this last year. They were such an offensively successful team.
Yeah.
That's what they rode into the Cape League Championship, going undefeated in the playoffs. It is incredible to see a team that has roster turnover like all 10 teams do year after year. If maybe you retain 2 or 3 guys at most, to be able to be this offensively successful every single year.
The 2-2. Low and inside, ball 3. Great at bat worked by Dallas Beaver.
This is especially refreshing, I'm sure, for Beaver himself after his last game against these Commodores when he went 0 for 4, a couple of double play, ground ball double plays, a strikeout. He's really looking to, the very least, work better at bats and just feel a little more comfortable.
Beaver hitless in his last 2 games played. Swings and misses, strike 3. Carmen Bajinski went fastball on the outside part of the plate, his second strikeout of the afternoon.
Hey, it still goes down as a strikeout. I'm sure Beaver is upset with himself, but that's a great at-bat that he worked. He was able to get it full against a really good pitcher who usually doesn't throw a lot of balls, who usually just gets strikeouts pretty quickly, and he was able to, he went down, but he made him work.
Long at-bat, Majinski wins the battle. 2 down and a runner on second base. Benjamin Sems steps up to the plate. The lefty shortstop batting .291. Fastball, loped foul towards the parking lot. As my partner alluded to, Wareham last year, first in the Western Division with a 25-17-2 record. They swept Catuit in the first round, Falmouth in the Western Division final, Chatham in the Cape Cod League Championship Series. It was their 8th championship as a program. And Don Sneddon retired on top as strike number 2 comes into Benjamin Sems. Now Jerry Weinstein is at the helm in Wareham.
Austin Shenton, the MVP of that Cape League playoff, hit something like 400.
Yeah.
He's already in high A ball with the West Virginia Power in the Mariners organization. A teammate of his who just got promoted yesterday, Logan Reinhart, 2018 Commodore reliever.
Majinski with an 0-2 count. Just outside, ball 1. Sem's a guy who did not start in the matchup between Falmouth and Wareham on Tuesday. He's 1 for his last 9 at the plate. Majinski shakes off Clunch twice now. They agree. Looking back to McLean, who reached on an error. The 1-2. Again, fouled away, same direction. On deck, Tora Atsuka, the right fielder. Majinski calls for time, asks for a new ball. I'm sure these players, especially the Commodores wearing their road blacks, are sweating quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered is it's been really hot the past couple days. It's only going to get hotter in the next 2 days when it's going to be 95, apparently, according to the weather app. But they still wear the road black. Might as well just give them a white jersey to wear.
Right. Especially when Wareham's wearing the Red Shirt Friday. 1-2. Fly ball down the left field line, and it leaks foul. Tim Tawa was chasing, couldn't get there in time. So the count stays the same. Danny, what I'm noticing in this half inning again, Wareham is so tough to put down on strikes, and every single guy in the order works good at bats.
Yeah, we're down to the bottom of the order. We're down to a guy like Benjamin Sems who, 1 for his last 9 has been struggling a little bit. There's a reason he wasn't in the lineup the last time these 2 teams played, and even he is putting together such an awesome at-bat. It's not just the Del Castillos of the world or the Dallas Beavers of the world who are able to, work counts really long. It's just about every single guy 1 through 9 in this lineup.
Majinski will try the 1-2 again. Fastball up the middle and into center field. Matt McLean rounds third. Throw from Blake Dunn into the plate will not be in time. Wareham breaks the scoreless tie. It's 1-0. A big 2-out single from Benjamin Sems.
There you have it. He's able to foul enough pitches off where he finally forces a mistake from Majinski. That's always the key with 2 strikes. He never got an advantage. It was always 1-2, and still Sems never let himself get down. Finally found a pitch that was far enough over the plate and was able to line up pretty well. as he now breaks out of that little funk he was in, and it seemed like it was going to happen, if not in that at-bat, pretty soon, because he was just putting together such great swings on some pretty incredible pitches.
It is an unearned run, as Matt McClain reached on the error. Majinski, a guy who gave up 2 runs his last time out against Brewster, but those, even though they were earned, were on infield singles and some bunts. Hard hit ground ball over towards Cruz at short. He'll glove flip onto Cantrell at second base, who is there in time. Benjamin Sems out on the force, but he has an RBI single, and the Wareham Gatemen have a 1-0 lead. To the top of the third we go. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Troy Clonch will start off the top of the third inning from Oregon State. Catcher who has been solid this year, but he is batting 8th tonight. 163 average this summer, 1 double and 1 home run. He takes a ball outside from Levi Prater. Clonch 0 for his last 11, 1 for his last 17. He's been in a little bit of a slump at the plate. The 1-0 he takes high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, he's got multiple strikeouts in 4 of his last 5 games played. So 4 of those 5, 2 strikeouts in each of them. Just want us to make contact more.
Makes contact there, but it's fouled away. Back into the parking lot here at Spillane Field. Spillane Field right next door to Wareham High School. And right down the road is Wareham Middle School as well. The 2-1 from Prater. Misses again high. And Denny, Prater has been good. He's only allowed 1 base runner on an error, but I feel like the Commodores have had his number a little bit. They're hitting him hard, and they're working favorable counts. 3-1, fouled back, 3-2.
Yeah, most everybody was getting fly balls, and they were lining them up really well. I touched upon it a little bit last inning. But I really like the swings from them. It seems like those 2 days off did them some wonders. They came out right away and didn't look sluggish at all. Were lining up his pitches real well.
3-2 misses low. That's the first walk of the evening for either side, as Troy Clonch is the leadoff base runner here in the top of the third.
Love to see that for Troy. We mentioned how he hasn't really been hitting the ball too much. He's been striking out a lot, but to be able to work a deep count like that, get it to 3-2, and be able to work a walk out of it is a very good sign. Shows that you're kind of seeing the ball a little bit better, obviously. And again, I'll go back to it. 2 days off, maybe everybody's a little bit well rested. Those eyes are a little clearer.
Commodores do have a slog coming up, though. In the next 13 days, they have 16 games. 3 doubleheaders, the first of which is today. Another one next Saturday. Another one on July 31st. The 0-1 is sliced foul to make it 1-1. Tim Tawa at the plate from Stanford. Tawa 0 for his last 11, but before that he was quite hot. Had that batting average up to close to 250. Oof. Troy Clonch is caught at first base. Check from Levi Prater, and Troy Clonch was fooled going towards second briefly, and then by the time he decided to go back to first, it was too late. Nice tag by Jacob Teeter, and quickly Prater erases the only base runner that he had allowed.
And he was maybe taking like a 2-foot lead, but something about that move from Prater just had him hanging.
Strike to Tim Tawa. He didn't like the call. No balls and 2 strikes to the man playing left field tonight. He's also played a little bit of second base. Prater back in the windup, delivers a fastball, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Prater. 2 down, nobody on.
You know, Tawa made the adjustment. The previous pitch was in a similar location, inside, right above the knees, but really tough to hit. I mean, I was surprised it was called a strike, and it was. So Tawa did the right thing. He made the adjustment. He got ahead on that pitch, but still it ties you up so much because it's inside like that. Not much you can do.
Hayden Cantrell swings at the first pitch he sees in his second at-bat. Did the first thing to start off the game. Did the same thing to start off the game, I should say, and he flew out to left field on a hard hit ball out towards Tora Otsuka. Off-speed skips in the dirt before the batter's box, 1-1. Cantrell from Louisiana Lafayette. .319 average this summer, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. Batted .301 with the Raging Cajuns in his sophomore year. The 1-1, he lifts right in front of the Wareham dugout, moving over is Dallas Beaver, as well as Jacob Teeter, who makes the catch. Teeter had the tag to erase Troy Clonch on the pickoff move from Levi Prater, so no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. For the second straight inning, Prater faces the minimum, and we head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0 Gatemen on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Urgent Care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Carmen Majinski back out on the rubber for the Commodores, who now face a 1-0 deficit here in the bottom of the third inning. And Danny, again, with double headers, you got to be thinking scoring quicker.
Yeah, there's only 7 innings. So,
right.
I mean, once you hit the third inning, you're nearly halfway through the ball game.
Mike Antico will start things off for the Gatemen. He takes a strike at the knees. Antico batting .256 this summer, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. He goes to St. John's as he shows bunt and pulls back on a high fastball, dodges out of the way to make it 1-1. Antico, a rising senior with the Red Storm. .386 average last year, .308 average the year before that. The 1-1 swung on and fouled back. 1-2. Majinski has had some tough luck his last couple times out. Against Brewster, gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings on just 4 hits. A couple of them were on the infield. The 1-2. Just outside to make it even. Outing before that against the Hartwich Mariners, a game that ended up being a walk-off in the 10th inning. He started the game, pitched 5, and gave up just 2 hits. One of them was a 2-run blast from Nico Cavadas. 2-2. Broken bat into left field. Tim Taw was there. He makes the catch, 1 down. But I feel like he deserves like 3 wins, and he has
for sure.
no decisions.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing to me is the fact that he has no wins, and he doesn't deserve any losses either, obviously, but he has no wins despite, being excellent through 5 innings. Maybe he just has to go longer. I don't know. But it's not the bullpen's blowing it or anything like that. It just seems like in his ball games, everybody's, nobody's scoring. Same thing today so far.
Braden Ward, the leadoff man, is up. He has a ground ball over to short. Trey Cruz, quick flip and throw. Nice play from the shortstop, who fielded it on a run for the 2nd out.
Yeah, that was a tricky play because I didn't really know where that one was going. Looked like it bounced up off the mound. Trey was taking a more direct approach behind second base, and then all of a sudden it caromed a little bit towards the right, so he had to change his course a little bit. He had to move his wrist awkwardly on his glove hand, and he was still able to get the out.
2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Majinski's first time through the order. He allows 1 run on 2 hits with 1 error. The error put Matt McLean aboard. He came around to score, meaning an unearned run for the Gatemen. Ball misses to Darren Baker, who had the first hit of this ball game. It was on a 0-2 fastball up the middle into center field. Takes another fastball. This one's at the knees for a strike. And Majinski's strikeout total his first time through the order is usually around 5.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, that speaks to how good of hitters the Wareham Gatemen are.
Lowest strikeout team in the Cape.
The 1-2 is fouled away. Excuse me, the 1-1 is fouled away to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Baker, 3 extra base hits on the summer, 2 doubles and a triple. Doesn't have that home run power, especially here at Spillane Field, which is a sneaky deep ballpark.
Yes.
It's about 420 to dead center. The 1-2 from Majinski. Fouled towards us on the 3rd base line and out of play. Count stays the same.
Yeah, 420 to dead center, and I'm betting that Zach Deloach hit it about 415 out there. And even in right field, it's pretty deep, too. This is no YD.
Strike 3, got him looking. Darren Baker nodding his head. He knows that he missed that one. Strikeout number 28 on the year for Dallas Beavers. Strikeout number 34 on the summer for Carmen Majinski. He works his first 1-2-3 inning in order as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Still 1-0 Wareham. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. David Korzanowski joined alongside Danny LaRose. We talk a lot about managers. Jeff Trundy for the Commodores, quite hands-off. Someone who's very hands-on is Jerry Weinstein, who's the manager for Wareham. Standing by is Katie Floria with more on his managing style and some of the things he uses for his squad. Katie.
Thanks, David. And prior to the game, I was talking to Jerry Weinstein, and it's interesting because Wareham uses a sleeve with about 40 different plays on them. Weinstein told me it's just an easier way to call the plays, and it also speeds up the game. When you have a lot of guys in and out over the course of the summer, you don't have to put an entire signal system in. So it's just an interesting tidbit because not every team uses that, but it's something that Wareham has tried and really, really likes.
Not every team uses it. I think they're the only team that does use it because we have seen a lot of Cape League teams, and I don't think we've seen one that shifts in the way that Wareham does and maybe has as much in-game coaching as Jerry Weinstein provides.
Yeah, definitely the most strategy from any team. I was talking to Troy Clonch about that because he noticed it, and he said, well, at Oregon State, we've got a same little playbook like that, and coach will give us, certain numbers, and it's got, 5 down, 5 across all over. It sounded like there was, not even 25. It sounded like there were 30-plus signs on that thing. But he's like, our coach, gives us a number. I guess it's like binary almost, where they go 1-0, 1-0-5 or something, and you got to look at your little map, and that's the play. That's what they're going for. But the thing is that catchers do that, and Troy said it's annoying. He says, I can't even imagine that in summer ball, and that's just what catchers have to do over the spring season. But then they're asking for their hitters to do it, so they say, hey, on 1-2, I want you to show bunt, pull it back, take a ball. It's going to be 2-2, then you're going to swing. And that's all a play that Jerry Weinstein has drawn up.
Jerry Weinstein has quite the coaching resume. Started his coaching career at UCLA in 1966. Over 50 years later, he is still active. A little bit less coaching. Now he does it over the summers. Helps out his family life, or so he claims. As the first pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate to Blake Dunn. New pitcher already. It's Brandon Pfaadt from Bellarmine University. A 2.90 ERA this summer and a 2-0 record. Beautiful curveball, but it misses inside to Blake Dunn. So quick pull for Levi Prater.
Yeah, my only explanation has got to be that he's on an innings limit. He was a starter at Oklahoma. He threw 80 innings, which that's kind of a lot for a college pitcher.
1-1 is a fastball that swung on and missed.
And we haven't seen him go longer than, what did I say, 3 2/3, 4. So, he went 3 innings, and they decided towards the end of the season they're not going to push him too much. They want to save him for that playoff run.
The 1-2 is a ground ball that should sneak up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop, Sems, spinning around, but not in time. Benjamin Sems almost had a highlight reel play, but Blake Dunn's speed beat it out. He's aboard for the second time.
Yeah, and he was safe easily. I mean, that's what I love from Blake Dunn is when he puts the ball on the ground, anything can happen.
Yeah.
We saw it last time where he didn't really earn it. It was an error from McLean, but he still gets on base. And normally when he's getting out consistently, it's because he's striking out or because he's flying out. He gets under a lot of baseballs recently, but I love when he hits those choppers because he just has so much speed that he can make mistakes from anybody.
Benjamin Sems almost fielded that ground ball up the middle and made a SportsCenter top 10 play just about a half a step late. Swing and a miss, strike one from Zach DeLoach, who flew out to dead center field, and I mean deep, deep center field his first time up. Pfaadt will check on Dunn over at first. He slides in safely.
Pfaadt has that great ERA, but that was early in the season. His first 3 appearances where he racked up a total of 12 innings. Both those wins allowed no earned runs, only 2 hits in those 3 appearances in 12 innings. Then his last 3 appearances, 7 earned runs in total.
Swing and a foul ball from Zach DeLoach to make the count 0-2.
So he almost has had just the tale of 2 seasons. Like once the calendar hit July, things started to fall off for him.
Gave up 2 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings his last time out. Gatemen are 4-1-1 when Pfaadt pitches. He was tabbed with 2 of those wins, and they were in starts 2 and 3, or appearances 2 and 3, I should say, as a fly ball is into shallow left field, and Tico's in. He makes the catch with his hat falling off out in left field, 1 down.
A lot of guys are getting under the baseball. Don't know what it is from both Prater, and now Pfaadt. But they're keeping the ball a little bit up, and so far it's paid off.
Commodores with just 1 hit and 3 base runners. The others were Troy Clonch on a walk, Blake Dunn on an error. Now Trey Cruz, who was a flyout victim himself in the first inning, is up for his second at-bat. Blake Dunn flinches, and so does Brandon Pfaadt. Balk is the call from the Commodores dugout, as well as the home plate umpire, Charlie Curcio. So Blake Dunn moves over to second base.
Yeah, in case you couldn't hear when Pfaadt made that move on our own mics from this entire dugout below us, but every single guy was yelling, "Balk, balk, that's a balk." And finally the umpires were like, yeah, I guess so.
Trey Cruz, the switch hitter. Hard hit ball down the right field line. This one is gone. Trey Cruz, a 2-run blast, and this game is now 2-1 in favor of the Commodores.
How about that for Trey Cruz? I mean, this guy continues to hit so well. 8-game hitting streak now, and typically we've seen a ton of singles from him. He has been a singles machine, hasn't really had too many extra base hits, only 1 extra base hit in that entire 7-game hitting streak. And this only his 2nd home run of the season. We saw him hit 1 from the right side way back in June. Now he's got 1 from the left side. He's got a little bit of power that comes and goes in waves, but for the most part, he just stays a very consistent hitter. And that's just so good to see for him. I mean, that is really incredible that he is now up in Zach DeLoach territory.
Tyler Ross takes a ball. It's Trey Cruz's 2nd home run of the year and his 7th extra base hit. He's got 4 doubles, a triple, and now 2 long bombs. The 1-0 to Ross. One hops Teeter and eats him up into right field. Tyler Ross with a hard hit ball. It should be ruled a hit. We'll see if it's ruled an error. But the Commodores right now are getting to Fott.
I don't know what it is about this dirt gravel mixture thing they have at Spillane Field. I don't know if we can find error statistics, what team has the most errors committed, but I've got to think that Wareham might be up there because, or anybody who plays at Wareham, maybe Spillane Field error statistics are pretty high because something about it, you know, we saw McLean get totally eaten up on a pretty well-hit ball, and now Teeter, and those were right at them.
Moretto takes a big swing but comes up empty. Commodores now lead 2-1 thanks to a 2-run blast over the right field fence, and then that was out of the ballpark in about a 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Moretto takes a ball 1-1.
I mean, he yanked it. He got really under it, too. That was pretty high up in the air, but just the ferocity with which he turned on the pitch, it was definitely out of here real quick.
Ross is on first with Teeter holding him. Nice off-speed pitch from Moretto, but it's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Fought the righty from Bellarmine University. Had a 4.03 ERA during his sophomore year. He'll be a junior next year. Another ball is high. 3-1. It is ruled a single from Tyler Ross, as it should have been. It was a really hard hit ball right in front of Jacob Teeter, who was playing at normal depth with the bases clear. Moretto with the green light on 3-1, fouls a pitch away, 3-2.
David, I know me and you always disagree on errors and stuff like that, but I think that should be an error for the fact that it was hit right in front of him. And, I mean, I don't care how hard it was hit. If it hits off your glove, if you were right in front of it, and he thought he corralled it too. I mean, if it went under his glove, we would have ruled it an error.
3-2, he'll check on Ross. He slides in safely. Or falls in, I should say.
Improvement for Fott. He didn't balk there.
Yes.
I don't know what the balk was the first time I was looking down at my paper.
I actually did see it. It definitely was a balk. So he was in the windup, and his legs just flinched.
Oh, okay.
Ross is going. Moretto swings and fouls it away. A little hit and run action for Jeff Trundy's squad. Ross will have to trot back to first. Yeah, it was like almost a little spasm from his legs. It looked like he bent his legs really quick. He couldn't decide if he was going to deliver or try a pickoff move.
The old Armando Benitez move.
And he didn't put up much of a fight. He knew it was a balk as well.
Just hoping nobody noticed.
Right. Full count to Moretto. Foul ball again, and Moretto's working another great at-bat. This is something he does well.
Why wasn't Ross running on that?
Good question.
Full count, 2 outs. 1 out. Never mind, I can't count. Dude, the sunlight is killing me right now.
The sunlight is killing us.
Can't read the scoreboard.
Our producer's hiding in the shade, seeking whatever cover he can. The 3-2, he'll check on Ross again. Teeter applies the tag late.
I think Tyler was ready to go. He was kind of swinging those hips back and forth as if he's trying to generate motion, just being able to go right when he sees the front leg lift. Took him a little bit of a hesitation as well when he had to move back.
He is going here, and another foul ball. Long at-bat worked by Steven Moretto. And this has been an entertaining at-bat.
Yeah, ton of about letter-high fastballs, kind of on the inside part of the plate to Moretto, and that's such a danger area. I'm surprised Fott keeps going to that. I'm sure he knows the scouting report. I'm sure he's gone over it with Coach Weinstein that, hey, throw fastballs up and into Moretto, it ties him up. He might go down with a strikeout, but right now he's really keyed in onto them, and it's just a matter of time until he leaves one a little bit too far over and Steven can maybe give it a ride.
Fott checks on Ross again at first base. A little bit of a high throw, but Teeter, with that tall frame, had no problem catching it. He stands at 6'6". Here's pitch number 9 to Moretto. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Moretto goes down by way of the K. First strikeout for Fott, and the second out of the inning.
And that pitch was down and away. It caught the outside corner, definitely a strike, and just kind of was able to get it past Moretto. That's the money spot that you want to go to, 2 strikes against a righty, especially a guy like Moretto who pulls the ball so often. Just not able to get his hands around on it in time.
Here's Matt Nelson. He has a late swing on a low fastball to make it 0-1. He struck out looking his first time up on a full count. Thought it was ball 4 outside, but ringing him up was the home plate umpire, Charlie Curcio. Levi Prater goes an even 3 innings. Doesn't allow a run as a ball misses upstairs. No hits, no earned runs, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. So Prater again solid in his limited start. Fott comes in, gives up a 2-run bomb to Trey Cruz, and the Commodores have the lead. Ross is going, throw down from Beaver. Scooped by Darren Baker, they got him. Snow cone action from the second baseman, and out number 3 is made on the base paths. Tyler Ross is caught stealing. Commodores score 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and nobody left on base. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. Falmouth has their first lead. It's 2-1 on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Carmen Majinski working with his first lead of the ball game, trying to get his first win of the summer. As Jacob Teeter will start things off for Wareham, followed by Del Castillo and then Matt McClain. Hard hit ground ball into Trey Cruz, fields it on a run, throws on to first. Plenty of time. 1 pitch, 1 down.
When Majinski works with a lead, I mean, it's like no other. He's like Franco Alemán when he's working with a lead. They just really settle in much better. And, I mean, he's been fantastic all game long, but when he's got even that 1-run cushion, expect him at his best.
Adrian Del Castillo grounded out to first base to start off the second inning. He's up with 1 out now in the 4th. Strike number 1 down the middle from Majinski. Some extra pop on that fastball. Calling for time is the cleanup man. 18 RBIs, that's second on the team. Would be first on Falmouth. As Danny, you look at hitters 3, 4, and 5. 19 RBIs, 18, and then 17. Ball outside.
It's such a potent lineup,
Yeah.
like all the way through. I mean, no other team can boast that. 1 through 9, you're going to get pounced.
The 1-1 is at the knees for strike 2. Wareham, a team that has also not played in the last couple of nights. They were rained out against Falmouth 2 nights ago. And last night against Hyannis. The 1-2 will have to wait as Claunch is shaken off by Majinski. They agree. He's in the windup and delivers another fastball. Late swing, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Majinski. 2 down here in the 4th.
They've been able to get to Del Castillo a lot with strikeouts, and that's something that is so incredible. I mean, seeing this guy all spring long and looking at his strikeout numbers, the fact that he only had 24, less than the walk numbers, he was always such a tough guy to strike out. But sometimes you go up and you face this great Cape Cod League pitching, and specifically the Commodores, who always have great pitching year in and year out, and Del looks like a much different hitter.
Strike 1 on the outside, black to Matt McLean. Majinski really settling in right now. He has retired the last 6 batters he's faced. Hasn't allowed a hit since 2 outs in the 2nd inning. The 0-1. Beautiful curveball right down the middle, strike 2. McLean scored the only run of the game for Wareham. He reached on an error and came around on a Benjamin Sem single. Majinski's working quickly. He knows what he wants. The 0-2. Poked over towards third base. Moretto fields it to his left and throws on to first. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Carmen Majinski. He has retired 7 in a row, and the Commodores lead 2-1, heading to the top of the 5th inning on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own.
Brandon Fott out for his 2nd inning of work. He got hit around a little bit in inning number 4. Gave up 2 singles and a 2-run home run off the bat of Trey Cruz. Commodores have a 2-1 lead as we had the final 3 innings of this game 1. Shane Drohan will be up to start it off. He takes a strike on the outside black. A strikeout victim his first time up. He also had half an at-bat in the 4th inning. Takes a ball low and away. But because Tyler Ross was thrown out at second base to end the 4th inning, he gets another chance. Fought the righty from Bellarmine. Delivers low out of the windup. 2 balls and a strike. Just over an hour into this game 1. Game 2 coming up about 45 minutes after the close. Here's a foul ball that might stay playable. It heads over towards the fans. And lands on the cement after sending the fans sprawling around.
Yeah, everyone was yelling, heads up, heads up, heads up, and the one kid who didn't hear nearly got plunked.
That's how it always happens, right?
Holding a camera. Everybody's going heads up, and he's walking into the path of the ball. Just beats him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Fott gave up a leadoff single to Blake Dunn in the 4th. Here's a ground ball over towards short. Nice play by Sems, but he bobbles the ball in the transfer. It stays put right behind second base, and the leadoff runner is aboard yet again for Falmouth. That should be ruled an error, in my opinion.
I wasn't looking at Matt down the line. I know he's got a little bit of speed for a catcher, but I doubt he would have been able to beat that out from Sems. Probably would have been a sure out, and yeah, that should probably be an error. I'm sure Matt hopes it gets ruled a hit, but at a certain point, you don't really care. You just want to start to catch a little momentum. Sometimes it happens with walks, getting on base with errors, any way you can, but you start to get on base a little bit, you stop getting in your own head.
Troy Clonch shows bunt, but he can't connect. He kept the bat head out in front of the plate as the fastball zipped right by. 0-1 is the count. Clonch reached on a walk to start off the 3rd inning, but then was caught on a pickoff move from Levi Prater. Now some signs from Dallas Beaver, the catcher, as he heads back to behind the plate. Fought from the stretch, corner infield playing in. Drohan dives back in after a pickoff attempt.
Nelson.
Oh, what did I say?
Drohan.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, those Seminoles, they all just
Shane Drohan, the
mix in.
other Florida State Seminole, recently released by the Commodores. He was a pitcher. Clonch shows another bunt, but this time he pulls back and takes a ball 1-1. Commodores have added a couple new guys to this roster. Brad Littleton from Lewis University is one. Clonch shows another bunt, pulls back again, and takes another ball. The second addition, Brant Brown from Eckerd College. As Jerry Weinstein will have a slow walk out to the mound and talk to his infield catcher and pitcher Brendan Fott.
Yeah, after all those balls with Clonch giving himself up, I mean, you just want to beg your pitcher, just throw it over the plate. He's giving us an out. I mean, yeah, he's going to put a guy on second, but what's the worst that can happen? And he just can't hit the strike zone. Right now, he's at risk of putting 2 guys on base without getting that out.
Doors with the 2-1 lead. They'd like to make it 3-1. They did the same against the Gatemen on Tuesday in what I thought was one of the better games of the year. Weinstein now breaks up the huddle, jogs back to the dugout without even looking at the home plate umpire, Charlie Curcio, who is walking out towards the mound. Matt Nelson is ruled a single.
Finally.
It's ruled a single.
Wrong.
Fott checks on Nelson yet again. Doors now with 4 hits, the biggest of which was a 2-run blast with 1 out in the 4th inning. Trey Cruz's second home run of the year to put Falmouth in front. The 2-1, Clonch bunts down the first base line. It's well foul. 2-2, 3-2. Second full count worked by Troy Clonch in his second at-bat. He drew a walk his first time up. Clonch going to be a junior at Oregon State. 6 foot, 195. He watches another ball. Now it's 3-2. Last summer played with the Anchorage Bucks in the Alaska League. This summer moving to literally the opposite part of the country on Cape Cod. The 3-2. Sliced into left field, a base hit. Antico bobbles the ball, and Drohan's into third. Clonch is into second after a late throw from Mike Antico. Now runners on second and third with nobody out.
This is the game where negative streaks go to die. Matt Nelson finally getting a hit his first time in about 12 days. Troy Claunch, who has been ice cold recently, a 163 average for Troy. He gets on base with some of the best contact we've seen from him all summer long. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a ball that he lined up that well. He was 2 for his last 25. Well, now he's got a hit in a very important moment because it puts Nelson only 90 feet away for some much-needed insurance in a shorter game. Keep in mind, only a couple innings remaining.
Tim Tawa takes a strike to start off his second at-bat. He struck out swinging on just a few pitches in the third inning. 2 runners in scoring position to give Falmouth a little bit more cushion. Swing and a miss on the off speed. 0-2.
Well, now it's time for Tawa to get hot again. I mean, these 3 guys in a row, all kind of at the same spot in the summer where they're struggling. Tawa, after his latest strikeout, 0 for his last 12, 6 of them strikeouts.
Foul ball back behind the press box. John H. Wild press box here at Wareham. Oh, and 2, the count of strikeout here would be huge for Fott. Another foul ball from Tawa. He stays alive. On deck, Hayden Cantrell. Blake Dunn after him. Doors brought 5 batters up to the plate in the 4th inning. This is already the 3rd here in the 5th. Fought from the stretch. Off speed high, 1-2.
It's the issue with Fott is he's got a lot of movement on that pitch right there, but it goes up and away. I mean, that is just completely reverse where he's trying to put it.
The 1-2 is low. He went back to the fastball, and now the count's even. Tim Tawa, 192 average this summer, 11 hits, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. The 2-2 ground ball over towards third. Matt McClain looks back, Drohan, and throws on to first. 1 down. I said Drohan again, didn't I?
You said it 2 more times.
Matt Nelson is still on third base. Troy Claunch is still on second. Now 1 out.
And great play by Matt McClain. I mean, that is textbook what you want to do. Good job, good read by Nelson. If he tries to go home, he's going to be out by a mile. And that's unfortunate for Tawa with a huge opportunity to get some RBIs. It's been a while for him. Again, like we were saying, he's 0 for his last 13 now. And it's not a strikeout. Got good contact, but just spiked it right into the ground.
Claunch is on second base. Nelson is on third. After the single from Claunch and the error by Mike Antico out in left field. Second error on the afternoon for Wareham. This is a team that has committed quite a few errors, Danny, and looking at those stats, they are second in the Cape League in errors.
Maybe they can blame Spillane Field.
They can probably do that. They are still tied for 6th with Falmouth in fielding percentage. Strike to Hayden Cantrell, 0-2. The dugout didn't like it. He's now going to have to battle back.
Yeah, it was a little high. This is a very big strike zone, one of the biggest that we've seen all summer. I mean, about give or take an inch or 2 below the knees, inch or 2 off the plate, and that one pretty high.
Fott trying to work out of a jam. Swung on, foul tipped into the mitt, strike 3. Hayden Cantrell moves to 0 for 3 on the evening. And now the Commodores in danger of leaving 2 runners stranded here in the 5th.
And that's the same exact type of situation we saw with Tawa back in the 3rd, where a too far inside pitch was called for a strike, gave him 2 strikes against him, decided, well, you know what, I'm going to have to protect. I'm going to have to go after that pitch. Tim did. Hayden did on another high pitch because he said to himself, hey, it was called a strike before. I got to, make the adjustment, but theirs are so tough to hit.
Blake Dunn with a big swing to make it 0-1. Fouled it past the bleachers that are right behind the dugout on the Wareham sideline. No balls and 1 strike. This would be a huge get for Brandon Fott to not allow any runs after putting the 2 base runners on. Check swing, but it's fouled. 0-2 now to Blake Dunn.
And Blake Dunn, another guy who's in a bit of a cold stretch, but so far in this game, he's been getting good wood on the baseball. Had a really hot shot over to third that ate up McClain. Had a single in the fourth inning later came around to score, so he's looking a lot better as of late.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Matt Nelson leads off with a single. Troy Clonch follows with a single. An error by the left fielder puts runners on second and third with nobody out. A ground out and 2 strikeouts get Fott and the Gatemen out of a jam. Still 2-1 Falmouth as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Dallas Beaver will go up against Carmen Majinski here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Commodores lead 2-1. Beaver with UCF had a .316 batting average last year. He struck out swinging his first time up after working a full count. Takes a first pitch ball outside from Majinski, who, if he gets out of this half inning and the Commodores retain the lead, he'll get his first win of the summer. Foul ball back towards the high school, 1-1.
Man, Dallas Beaver was so dominant entering Tuesday. He was leading Wareham in average. I don't know what it is, but against the Commodores, he's now 0 for 5. 2 Ks.
Dallas Beaver recently announcing that he will be transferring to South Carolina.
Get that.
Will be a teammate of Carmen Majinski's next year.
You think both of them know yet?
The 1-1 is low, and the reason that I just looked that up is because they announced Dallas Beaver over the PA as from South Carolina.
Okay.
And I knew that he wasn't there last year, so I looked it up. Sure enough, recently announced, June 20th.
All right, so Carmen probably knows at this point. It's Gamecock Bowl.
Right. The 2-1. High fly ball to deep center field. Blake Dunn is back at the wall, and he makes the catch. It is just a vast plain out in center field that seems to never end. Blake Dunn with a good jump and a nice track for the first out.
That wasn't as, scorched as Deloach's was. He got well under it, but he's just such a beefy guy that he can send it a long ways, and Dunn able to track it down in dead center. So for Gamecock Bowl Part 2, Dallas Beaver wins the popular vote, but Majinski wins the electoral because, Beaver, he nearly sent that one over the wall.
He did. Now Benjamin Sems will try to get a base runner on for Wareham. Fouls back the first pitch. He was the last gateman to reach base in the second inning. Since then, Majinski has retired 9 in a row. Of those 9, 2 strikeouts, 5 groundouts, 2 flyouts. Here's a grounder over towards short. High hop for Trey Cruz. Back on the outfield grass, and he makes the throw in time. 2 down.
I don't think we give Trey's arm enough credit. His hands are so smooth and his footwork is great. He's always working on it at third base and shortstop during IO. But his arm's pretty strong as well.
It is.
I mean, that was he had to really rear back and fire it. You could tell he was putting a lot into it and was still able to get Sems by a long stretch.
Majinski 1 out away from his 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning. Tora Atsuka will try to change that. He grounded out to short on a fielder's choice to end the second inning. Here's a ground ball over to Cruz again. High hop, but he fields it cleanly. Throw out to first in time. What a quick inning worked by Carmen Majinski. He has been outstanding. Retired 9 in a row. And now 10 in a row. As he works another 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. No runs on no hits, no errors, no gatemen left on base. 2-1 Commodores entering the 6th. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Third pitcher for the Gatemen towing the rubber will be Tanner Bybee from Cal State Fullerton. Bybee, another solid middle reliever for Wareham. 2-1 record, 2.76 ERA in 13 innings of work.
Yeah, and he's another guy who really limits the earned runs. He's got multiple outings of more than 2 innings where he hasn't allowed an earned run. Has allowed a hit in just about every single appearance he's had, but again, he eats up a lot of innings. He usually goes about 2 innings, has even gone as far as 3 1/3. So he's just looking probably to set down the doors in these final 2 and see if Wareham can respond with their bats, again being quieted by the Commodores.
Bybee, the righty from the windup. Deloach fouls it towards Coach Ryan Eiley. Nice snag with the left hand by the first base coach. Get some applause and some cheers from Commodores dugout.
The Puma strikes again.
The Puma. The Puma cat with twinkle toes.
What's an Australian animal? That's fast?
Wallaby. Kangaroo.
The wallaby.
Platypus. The 0-1 is low to even the count. Deloach 0 for 2 today, in danger of now 3 straight hitless games.
Yeah, it's the first time that he's had
a slump of any
Right,
length.
right. Hitless in 2 of his last 3 games, which hasn't happened since June 26th.
The 1-1 is high.
And by that I mean he has 7-game hit streak, 1 hitless game,
Right.
7-game hit streak, or he has like, you know, a hit, like a 3-game hit streak or something like that. Never has he gone like, you know, a chunk of games going hitless with some interruptions.
Still leading the Cape League in batting average at .378 coming into this game. He takes another ball. 3-1 is the count.
He's only 1 for his last 10.
What the heck, Deloach?
I know.
Can't you bat .415 for the whole summer?
Sheesh.
Please. Bybee trying to get back in this count. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Looks like a changeup that Deloach was in front of. Full count.
Yeah, and a powerful swing from Zach. He had those hips right in on that one. If he made contact, he would have driven it away. He probably could have shot it to the left center field gap too, just the way he was drawing that up.
Bybee with a big exhale. Starts his windup. 3-2. Foul ball past the stands. Count stays the same. Bybee will be a junior next year out of Cal State Fullerton. 4.33 ERA in his sophomore season with a 5-7 record. Talk about an innings limit. He must be hitting one soon. He threw 95 2/3 innings. And already another 13 on the Cape. 29 walks, 80 strikeouts. The 3-2. Hard hit ball into right center field. Otsuka's back at the wall, and he's going to watch it fly.
Whoa.
A solo shot for Zach Deloach makes this game 3-1. Home run number 5 on the summer for Zach Deloach.
What? That one went like 6,000 feet. Dude, I watched it fall, and it was like 100 feet past the scoreboard. It was onto the field in deep right field. Like, I thought that was going to get over the wall. It was clearly a home run off the bat. I thought it was going to barely creep over the wall. My goodness, it just kept going. I mean, Zach Deloach has been putting on some fantastic swings all game long, and that's about the same exact type of swing he had in his first at-bat when he flew out to center. Only this time, he puts it into a part of the ballpark that isn't, 420 feet back, as he's able to deposit that one way over the fence.
Second home run of the game for Falmouth. The first was off the bat of this man, Trey Cruz, who takes a first pitch strike that he didn't like. Leadoff man has reached base the past 4 innings for the Commodores. Swinging a foul ball, strike 2. A walk in the 3rd, singles in the 4th and 5th. A solo shot here to start the 6th.
I mean, his 2-strike hitting it's like he's got a 3-1 pitch.
Right.
He's just so locked into everything. Nothing is a reactionary swing. He's never just lucky to make contact. Everything is so calculated and so strong.
Doors lead by 2. This foul ball heads back our direction past the dugout. The girl goes skipping over and gets the ball. Good positioning. Good positioning by Mom. Tanner Bybee just gave up a home run and an earned run. That'll up his ERA closer to 3 as a ball is watched low by Trey Cruz. Quick shout out to Matt Majinski, relative of Carmen Majinski, who is watching. We got a tip from one of the fans here at Wareham to give a shout out about 2 innings ago, and I just remembered, so got it in. We got it in. Glad you're joining us as well as everyone else who's watching our YouTube live stream here on this Friday evening. Another ball low to Trey Cruz.
I love seeing where they're coming from. Then we've got Gator Gal, who usually tunes in when Austin Langworthy's playing all the way down in Florida.
Yep.
Tweet at us where you're tuning in from.
2-2 is outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think that's probably one of the most gratifying parts of this job is getting feedback from listeners. We haven't gotten too many haters. The haters have stayed relatively silent. I'm sure they're out there, but we've gotten relatively positive feedback, mainly from friends and family.
If you hate us, just click the little X in the top left corner.
Right, exactly. Ball 4 misses low. Trey Cruz will trot down to first base with a walk, and Bybee has struggled here in his first inning of work.
So really the only disappointing thing about Cruz reaching first base in this instance is that he won't be able to extend his multiple game hitting streak. What was it, 3 or 4 games in a row where he had 2 hits in each of those games? as now he's extended his hitting streak to up to 8 games, and he had 7 of those 8 games with multiple hits, but so far he's 1 for 2 thanks to that walk.
Tyler Ross will start things off with a swing and a miss in his third at-bat. Singled his last time up, but was caught stealing at second on a nice throw from Dallas Beaver. Bybee still looking for his first out. Righty pitching from the stretch. Cruz fakes like he's going to steal, and a foul ball from Ross makes it 0-2.
Man, this school behind us is taking a beating.
Absolute beating.
Just every foul ball is going that way.
Right.
I have not seen one towards right field.
That's so true. That is so true.
Except for the one Eiley scooped up.
And I guarantee you, if the school was on the other foul line, that all the foul balls would be in that direction.
It's gravitational pull.
No balls and 2 strikes to the switch hitting Tyler Ross. But first, Bybee will check on Cruz. He slides in safely.
You know what I would do as a pitcher, and this is real just mean stuff. What I would do as a pitcher with a base runner on in this like gravelly dirt that no one likes sliding on, everyone complains about it. I just try to pick them off like 10 times and force them to slide a ton and really just like wear them down, because it wears you down more than just the regular dirt.
The 0-2 swung on and missed. High fastball from Bybee, his first strikeout. And 1 down here in the 6th. Yeah, that is mean. It's smart, though.
It would probably
smart.
work, because at a certain point a guy would be like, I don't want to slide again. I've already like chafed my entire leg.
Right.
And then they either wouldn't slide and you'd be able to tag them out, or maybe if they are trying to steal,
Yeah.
slows them down a little bit. Maybe bangs them up so that a couple innings later they're a little slow getting to ground balls.
Sure. Steven Moretto takes a ball. He's 0 for 2 today. Fly out and a strikeout. And Danny, the Commodores looking good right now. If they finish this game off the way that they are right now, this will be their 3rd win of the year against Wareham. They still haven't lost to the Gatemen. Ball number 2.
And you made the point where if you split, the season series with Wareham at worst,
Right.
that's really good to walk into it and say they're the top team in the West. They're probably, they're easily the most talented offense in the entire Cape, and you're going into it saying, well, at worst, we'll split the season series.
Still a couple innings to go here in game 1. The 2-0 check swing foul. 2 balls and a strike. These teams have had a handful of rainouts against each other, making for some more dates later in the season. They were supposed to play in game number 2 of the season on June 11th. That was rained out, postponed to the 13th. The game on the 13th was postponed to the 17th. Long look from Bybee. He delivers a off-speed that swung on and missed, 2-2. Game on the 17th was finally played. That was the first matchup of the year between these two teams. Commodores came from behind with a late grand slam from Hayden Cantrell. They won 8-5. They were supposed to play on June 22nd. That was rained out. They played matchup number 2 on Tuesday, as the same pitch misses as Moretto lays off. Supposed to play on Tuesday, they did. Commodores win 3-1. Supposed to play on Wednesday. That game was rained out. Now we got a doubleheader here today, and then 2 more matchups against Wareham. Sliding back in is Trey Cruz again at first base, so maybe Bybee adopting that strategy of yours. Bybee comes set, glove right in front of his neck. Another pickoff move. Slapped on the backside, but not in time. He's safe yet again.
I'm betting 3-2, 1 out. We've seen Ross try to steal on 3-2, 1 out, where they had a hit and run. Probably expecting the same out of Cruz, and Cruz with more speed.
Moretto is at the at the plate both times. Here's the payoff pitch. Cruz is going. Ball number 4. Second walk from Bybee puts runners on first and second with just 1 out. This is a guy who had only walked 1 batter all summer on the first outing of the year on June 10th. Hasn't walked a batter since. He's walked 2 here in 1 inning.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's almost like the Commodores are just kryptonite to a lot of these Wareham players.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jinx anything, but I mentioned it with Del Castillo and with Dallas Beaver,
Sure.
how they are tearing up everybody else, and all of a sudden against the Doors, not as hot. And same thing with Bybee, where great numbers, no walks. Now he runs into trouble just in this one inning.
Shane Drohan singled his second time up. Oh my goodness, I did it again. I did it again.
Yep.
I keep calling Matt Nelson Shane Drohan. I am so sorry. Well, we know Matt Nelson's parents are here, so they're not listening.
Oh, that's always a good measurement.
Matt Nelson, Matt Nelson, Matt Nelson, Matt Nelson, Matt Nelson. He's got a 0-1 count. Watches a first ball 1-1.
Matt Nelson's got a hit.
Matt Nelson does have a hit.
He's got a hit today. It probably could have been an error when Sems dropped the ball on the transfer, but he'll take it. Bumps that batting average up. Second hit of the summer in his 23rd AB.
1-1, 1 out, 2 runners on. Solid lead from Cruz over at second base. Swinging a high fly ball. Teeters under it in foul ground. He makes the catch. 2 down.
And that's something we've seen from Matt a ton, is that his pop-outs are just so frequent. He doesn't really get on top of the ball, doesn't line pitches up too well. And even a low pitch like that one, I mean, that was about knee high. He squared around, turned on it really quick, but still gets under it. Something with his swing, something about his upper body, I think it is, maybe lifting the ball up too high, as he really can't square up the ball at all this summer.
Troy Claunch singled his last time up as well. Those were the back-to-back singles that started off the 5th inning. Both Nelson and Claunch were left stranded, though, after a ground out from Tawa and back-to-back strikeouts by Cantrell and Dunn. He takes a first pitch ball, and now Beaver giving some signs to the infield. 2 outs, the Doors with a 2-run lead. Couple innings away from going 3-0 against Wareham. They will have 3 more matchups against the Gatemen. The next of which is coming about 45 minutes after the close of this game. Bloop shot into shallow right field. Otsuka with a long run. He dives, can't make the catch. Cruz rounds third and taps home plate. 4-1 Falmouth. As Moreto's into third, Claunch is into first. Runners on the corners and 2 down.
Looks like Troy Claunch has got his mojo back, as that one a bloop hit, but still solid contact from Troy. Otsuka playing a little too far back. Now Claunch 2 for 2 with a walk, has an RBI after that latest one. Advances Moreto all the way over to third. Doors looking really, really solid in this ball game. I was just about to say at the start of this inning that they've been riding a win streak, riding the pitching, that the pitching has really been solid. They haven't been putting up a lot of runs recently, but hey, 4 runs in about 6 innings. One more chance to do so in the next inning. They're looking sharp.
First pitch to Tim Tawa is roped into right center field. Steven Moreto will score. Troy Claunch moves over to third. Another single, and the Doors are up 5-1.
And so it continues, and everybody who's been slumping has now broken out of it at least a little bit. Matt Nelson is now with a hit. Troy Claunch has 2 hits and an RBI. Tim Tawa, who was 0 for his last 12 or 13, now 1 for 3, gets an RBI. That is pretty excellent stuff to see from the bottom 3 who were desperate for some hits, and for the Commodores who were also desperate for some runs. Like I said, hadn't been scoring a lot. You know that you can't beat Wareham every single game, 2-1, 1-0, and so far so good.
Now a 4-run lead for Falmouth. Still runners on the corners, and now the top of the order is up at the plate. Cantrell swings at a low pitch, 0-1. And how about that, Danny? Those last 2 batters, I think, if this game stays put, are the key to this game. Because the difference between 3-1 and 5-1 is huge.
Yeah.
And both of those RBI singles come in with 2 outs. The 0-1 is well high.
Anytime you can put up your top of the order 4 times in a 7-inning game is just as impressive. And they haven't left a lot of guys on base either. Only 3 runners left on base. Couple caught stealing, 1 pickoff too. But they've still been getting so many guys on as this Doors lineup looks like it's starting to settle back in after some rough days at the plate.
Claunch is in scoring position. Tawa's at first. Bybee delivers. Cantrell swings and misses 1 and 2.
It's been a rare game where Hayden Cantrell has been swinging at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Saw him chase a very high pitch back to the fifth and strike out on it, and that one down and away below the knees. He's had one of the best eyes on the Cape. So this is very unusual.
1-2, 2 outs. Tawa's going. Throw down to second base. Tag, not in time. Benjamin Sebs can't slap it on Tim Tawa soon enough. Now 2-2, 2 outs. Runners on second and third.
Ball to the outfield grass should seal the deal. 7-1 should be way too big of a lead with only 2 chances remaining for Wareham.
Commodores will likely go to a reliever in the sixth. It remains to be seen who it will be, as Cantrell comes up empty yet again. While the Commodores have had success, Cantrell has struggled, now 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. But in this half inning, the Doors score 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Deloach started the inning with a solo shot. They add a couple more, and they are up 5-1 on Wareham. To the bottom of the sixth we go. You're listening to the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20-plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country, with over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school.
Back at Spillane Field, we'll take a look at the road ahead for the Falmouth Commodores. Danny, a matchup against Wareham in Game 2 today. We'll end Wareham week as we look ahead. Orleans, All-Star Game, Brewster, Hyannis, Wareham, and Orleans twice. You got the? Do you actually have your car gassed up for the trip out to Orleans?
we go there back-to-back games, both on the road, right?
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Thursday and Friday.
Why?
Thursday was supposed to be an off day.
Oh, is that why? Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
I still think it makes less sense because you just put a doubleheader on Friday.
Well, now that angers me. Darn it. And you know what's the worst thing? It's like we should just stay over there, but we got things to do in the morning. We got work and stuff.
Right.
So they're making us drive all the way out to Orleans.
Orleans to Falmouth is the longest trip that any 2 teams have on the Cape.
And it's like an hour 10, so it's really not that bad. Hour 20.
Right.
We're making it bad.
We're pulling out our small violins here, but
at the same token, come on.
Imagine being Hyannis. It's a 30-minute drive everywhere.
Right.
That'd be so nice.
Imagine being Orleans, having that 3 hours, round trip, back-to-back days. They'd be complaining too, I bet.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because people think Wareham is the furthest Cape west. Orleans is the furthest Cape east. But Falmouth is sneaky far south on the Cape.
Yeah.
So Wareham to Orleans is actually a shorter drive.
You
than
just go
Falmouth
straight
to
on
Orleans.
6. Right through.
Right.
We have to go through 16 roundabouts.
And 25 traffic lights on Route 28. Also, Friday afternoon at Orleans with Cape traffic.
We're going to have to leave at 1.
We're going to literally have to leave at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, we get lucky on. We have 3 trips to Orleans in the next week.
Yeah, we got the All-Star game. That All-Star game on your graphic right there coming up on Sunday. That is at Orleans as well.
We're going to be lucky on that Sunday, though, because that's when everybody's going back out west, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So that works out in our favor. But, dibs on whoever, I don't know. Somebody's going to have to drive twice, I think, with the amount of people we have.
Yeah.
So, poor kid.
I will say, for all the complaining we do about our trip to Orleans, it is a beautiful, beautiful park.
Yeah, I wish we could spend more time out there, honestly.
And one last thing I want to talk about while we're talking about, commutes and traffic and all that. On our trip out to Wareham, we crossed the Bourne Bridge, but we were going west while everyone's going east for a weekend trip to Cape Cod. About a 7-mile backup on the Bourne Bridge.
There were maybe 2 cars on the westbound lanes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And just enough to give Massachusetts smog for years on the eastbound lanes.
Aiden Maldonado now towing the rubber for Falmouth. As Carmen Majinski's day is done, he was outstanding. First pitch from Maldonado is low and in the dirt. to Mike Antico. And let's talk Maldonado first, then we'll recap Majinski. But Maldonado's had a pretty solid summer.
Yeah, he has been probably the most reliable reliever out of the pen. His ERA wouldn't show it.
1-0 is just outside to the 9-man, 2-0.
At 4.09, but that's just because he doesn't have too many innings pitched. He has 11 innings of work, but so many outings with no earned runs. I mean, Harwich in a 3-2 win, he threw 3 innings, didn't allow a run. That was in a huge, huge moment because Falmouth won in a walk-off. His last time against Chatham, 2 earned runs over 2 innings, but that was in a blowout game, so those ones, they seem like they don't count.
Another fastball misses low. 3 balls and no strikes to start off the outing for Aiden Maldonado.
But he's never let up more than 2 hits in any one outing, and he's just, I don't know, such a solid pitcher.
Jeff Trundy and Mike Landry will likely be looking to Maldonado to close this game out for Falmouth with a 4-run lead and 6 outs to go. He's got a 3-0 deficit here to Antico. Strike 1 at the knees. And Maldonado, I also think that ERA is a little inflated too because his last time out against Chatham was in an absolute blowout where he pitches 2 innings, but I don't think he has the same laser focus, you know, when the team's up by 9.
Yes, exactly.
That game was just a bloodbath 8 days ago out in Veterans Field. Swing and a miss, strike 2. All of a sudden, full count.
Yeah, Aiden doesn't walk a lot of guys. Only 3 walks. He had 2 walks June 14th, his first appearance against Hyannis, and then his latest walk at Chatham that previous outing. Otherwise, all zeros in between. So he's a very much a control pitcher.
Maldonado, a young guy as well. He'll just be a sophomore next year with the Illini out at Illinois Champaign. Ball 4 inside. Antico dodges out of the way, lifts his left leg and trots down to first. A leadoff walk.
So there you go. Now he has walks in back-to-back outings, which hasn't happened at all this summer, as the control pitcher misses quite a bit in that at-bat. I think he was just trying to paint a little bit too much. Those strikes that he did throw, I mean, boy, were they really toeing the black. He was pitching very carefully to Mike Antico.
Now the leadoff man, Braden Ward, try to get things going for Wareham. They've only scored 1 run, and it was an unearned run in the 2nd inning. Antico on first with a large lead. Maldonado kicks and delivers. Strike 1, low at the knees and on the outside part of the plate to Ward.
Yeah, it looked a little below the knees, but he knows that Curcio is calling a low strike, so he's going to exploit that.
Charlie Curcio, home plate umpire. Rosenberg down at first. Jeff Kinney at third. Antico with a late dive back into first base. Maldonado didn't even throw it over to first. Let's talk about Majinski now. 5 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. No walks and 4 strikeouts. That strikeout total low for Majinski's standards, but maybe his best outing of the summer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's going to get a win in it if this score remains the same. So he'll say it's his best outing.
0-1. Ward fouls over towards Falmouth dugout. 0-2. That was a bunt attempt from Braden Ward, who's now got no balls and 2 strikes against him. He is 0 for 2 today. This game a little bit different than the first matchup between these two teams as well, Danny, because Wareham scored just 1 run on Tuesday against Falmouth, but they had 11 hits. They left runners stranded. They only have 2 hits today.
Yeah, they are a shell of themselves today. It's amazing to see this Falmouth pitching staff just absolutely at their best against the best offensive team.
Maldonado's got an 0-2 count to Braden Ward. Pitching from the stretch. Kicks and delivers. Strike 3 at the knees. Braden Ward can't believe it. First punch out for Maldonado, 1 down and 1 on.
And that was maybe the best pitch of the at-bat. So I don't know what Ward was looking for, but looked like he kind of turned towards the dugout and was frustrated. That one was perfectly on the outside half, right at the knees. Jerry Weinstein now going to give him a couple words of encouragement because, I don't know, on that one, 2 strikes, you know it's a wide strike zone, and that one was definitely over the plate.
Ward throwing his bat. Shouldn't say throwing. He tosses his bat in the dugout in frustration. Darren Baker now up at the plate. He is 1 for 2. Started the game off with a 1-out single in the bottom of the first inning. Maldonado delivers a pitch at the belt and on the outside black to Baker. Judging by his body language, he didn't like the call either. He checks his wrist for the play from Jerry Weinstein. Thanks to Katie Florio for that hit earlier in the game. So interesting to see how well coached the Wareham Gatemen are, how hands-on their manager, Jerry Weinstein, truly is. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball down the first baseline. Foul, and again, an 0-2 count. How about the difference between the first batter that Maldonado faced and the last 2? He starts off 3-0 against Antico, 0-2 with the last 2 batters.
Guess he just wasn't warm enough. Or no, maybe he didn't take
Needed
enough
a
time
few
in the
extra
bullpen.
pitches, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, he definitely was trying to be a little too cute against Antico, and he's still hitting those spots against these latest 2 guys. Just getting a little bit more plate with each of them. Still nothing that's really too down the middle.
No balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3, got him looking. Baker knew that one. He was already heading back to the dugout before the punch-out call was made. Back-to-back looking strikeouts on just 3 pitches to hitters 1 and 2 for Wareham.
And it was the same pitch that Braden Ward watched, only it actually was closer towards the middle of the plate. It wasn't as far on the outside corner. I think what's holding them up is that it's just a little below the knees. You know, it's an inch, half an inch below the knees. So they're thinking, oh, I'm watching it. That's got to be low, but you're getting punched out on it, and you got to make the adjustment. You know, you're down in the 6th inning. Home plate umpire's been calling that low pitch all game long. Got to open up your strike zone just a little bit when you're down 0-2. And those 2 guys didn't do that. And Darren Baker may be upset that it's being called a strike, but he, as opposed to Ward, knew that it would be, and that's why he was quickly back to the dugout.
It's been all Commodores ever since the 2nd inning. Wareham led 1-0 as ball 1 comes into Jacob Teeter. Wareham led 1-0 on an RBI single from Benjamin Sems in the 2nd. Then they were retired 9 in a row in innings 3, 4, and 5 by Carmen Majinski. Leadoff walk in the 6th. Next 2 batters go down, strikeout victims. The 1-0. Low to Teeter. 2 balls and no strikes.
Maldonado hasn't thrown 1 pitch up in the zone.
Teeter's got plenty of power. 4 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs.
Ridiculous.
That leads this Wareham team. The man on deck, though, with 18 RBIs and Adrian Del Castillo. Check swing. He went around, but the ball skips past Troy Clonch, so Antico takes 2nd. 2-1 the count.
Obviously, you're going to be a little more comfortable when you're leading 5-1. I mean, Teeter, even if he gets a hold of one, can't tie the ball game with a home run, but you got to be careful with those walks and letting guys get on base because you're starting to approach the middle of the order. They got high RBI counts and don't want to put him on base just because then things do get closer. Then things do get a little dicier if a guy gets a hold of one.
Gatemen have a runner in scoring position for the first time since the 2nd inning. The 2-1. Check swing. Did he go around? Appeal down to 3rd. No, he did not, says Jeff Kinney.
Good call. Great pitch by Maldonado, and got to credit Teeter with just not being fooled by it.
Maldonado's strikeout to walk ratio has been outstanding this summer, including this outing today. 4 walks, 18 Ks. Maldonado with a long look back to Antico at 2nd, lifts his left leg and delivers a strike at the knees. Teeter was ready to flip the bat and head towards 1st, but a full count.
That's been his bread and butter. That was the punch-out pitch to Ward. That was the punch-out pitch to Baker. And Teeter, I can't blame him for taking it. I mean, it's 3-1. You don't have to swing. But I'd maybe be looking for it again now that you got 2 strikes against you.
Full count. Maldonado started off this inning with a leadoff walk to Mike Antico. He moved over to 2nd base after the wild pitch. Sun's starting to set behind the high school, but still shining bright on the field. 3-2 is sliced and pulled well foul down the first base line. 3-2. Maldonado with a 6.58 ERA in 26 innings of work during his freshman season with Illinois, and his one problem was his control. 30 walks, 20 strikeouts, and in the first outing of the summer, we thought that those concerns were here to stay. Just 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 earned runs, 3 hits, and 2 walks against Hyannis, but since then he's been locked down. The 3-2's fouled back into the screen, and the count again stays full.
Yeah, that's maybe the storyline of the summer for Maldonado is that he comes into the Cape. Coach probably told him, go to Cape Cod, work on your control. You're going up against the best hitters. If you get hit around, it's okay.
Sure.
I just wanted to see you throw more strikes, and he did exactly that. And especially after the first outing, we were expecting, oh boy, here
Right.
comes the guy, who couldn't find the strike zone at Illinois. What's going to change? And something did.
Again, just with 4 free passes this summer. Almost 4 times as many strikeouts. Here's a hard hit ground ball up the middle, past Trey Cruz. Antico is waved around past third. He will come in to score without a throw. An RBI single from Jacob Teeter makes it 5-2.
And that's just a great piece of hitting. Maldonado went with that same pitch that he was able to get the previous 2 strikeouts on. He went low, down and away. It's probably a little below the knees, but got to credit Teeter with being able to make that adjustment as he lined it up well, sent it right back where it came from, kept the swing low so the ball stayed low, and he was able to just put it into the outfield, splitting up both the infielders in the middle of the infield.
Adrian Del Castillo trying to break his 0 for today. Swings and fouls back the first pitch. Del Castillo had a 3-game hit streak coming into the game today. And something we noticed earlier when we were looking at his stats, Danny, where he's a very streaky guy, strings together a lot of hit streaks. He's had 2 3-game hit streaks, 2 4-game hit streaks, and a 6-game hit streak. The 0-1. Strike at the knees. Beautiful pitch from Maldonado. 0-2 yet again. Del Castillo batted .331 his freshman year with the Miami Hurricanes. Part of a very talented team that was a 2 seed in the Mississippi State Regional.
I think with Del Castillo is he's such a gamer. 2 strikes, he doesn't go down easily, but when he gets out, he's frustrated over it.
Right.
This guy is always a type of guy who wants to pick up those RBIs, and no matter what situation it is, he could be up 10, he could be down 10. He could be wearing a Wareham jersey instead of a Hurricanes jersey, but he's always going to want to get that spotlight and be able to pick up a hit, which makes him unlike so many other freshmen.
The 0-2. Well inside, spiked in the dirt. Teeter moves over to second base as it's well past Claunch and into the screen. 1-2 the count.
So wild pitches burned Maldonado the first time when Antico was able to take second base, and we'll see if it burns him this time as Teeter now is on second base, because obviously, a base hit, runner on at first, probably not going to score, but now he probably will, and things get a little bit closer as it seems like there's just always a base runner on, always bothering Maldonado, and he can't quite seem to figure out this final out.
1-2, 2 outs, runner on second. Maldonado high. 2-2. The righty from Illinois getting some encouragement from his infield. Most vocal of the 3, Steven Moretto over at third base. Big exhale, kicks and delivers. Ball low, 3-2. It's Wareham Gatemen not going down easily here in the 6th inning.
No, and what would you expect from the middle of the lineup? You got Teeter, RBI machine, Del Castillo, RBI machine. There's a reason they're able to do that. It's not just because they come up to the plate, bases loaded, nobody out.
Sure. The payoff pitch. Strike 3 at the knees. Same exact spot he K'd up Ward, and Baker gets his 3rd strikeout looking. Wareham Gatemen score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. To the 7th inning we go. It is 5-2 Falmouth on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 20 plus seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for elite baseball training and college recruiting assistance. They build more varsity starters, all-state athletes, and college and professional ball players than anyone else in the country. With over 1,000 events nationwide for players in middle school and high school and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Dunn, Deloach, and Cruz due up in the final frame of this Game 1 against the Wareham Gatemen. Another pitching change for Jerry Weinstein's team. They go to Michael Webb, the righty from Rhode Island College, who delivers strike one to Blake Dunn. Michael Webb with a 9 ERA flat, 1 start, 7 innings of work. Not the numbers we're accustomed to seeing from some of these Wareham guys as ball one is high.
No, definitely not, because, I mean, we talk about Hyannis being a terrible pitching team but great hitting team, and you might think Wareham would be like that. There's a check swing foul ball to the right side. You might think Wareham's like that, where they're all hitting, no pitching, but no, they got some good guys on both sides of the ball. It's what makes them such a lethal team.
The 1-2 to Dunn, fouled away. Webb gave up just 2 hits and no earned runs to the Brewster Whitecaps his last time out 1 week ago today against Brewster in a 6-5 win. Another ball makes it 2-2. No walks and no strikeouts. He faced the minimum despite allowing those 2 hits, so a couple double plays helped him out. Picked up his first win of the summer. Before that, he got clobbered against Harwich. 2 innings of work, gave up 6 earned runs on 7 hits. Just struck out 1. 2-2. Strike 3, got him looking. Blake Dunn's second strikeout of the night. And now Zach Deloach, fresh off a solo home run, gets his 4th at-bat.
Dunn was giving some words to Charlie Curcio. Seems like both dugouts really upset with where the strike zone's at. Seems like it's just been very wide in every single region. Width, length, height, everything has been a little bit too far.
Webb with that long windup, which he brings the glove over his head. Deloach with the check swing, but it catches the bat and is fouled towards Jeff Trundy. 0-1. Webb delivers, and this time a full swing from Deloach. Same result, a foul ball. This one towards manager for Wareham, Jerry Weinstein. Michael Webb, a 2.71 ERA during his junior year at Rhode Island College. He had 20 walks and 100 strikeouts in 76 1/3 innings of work. The 0-2 is high, can't be squeezed by Dallas Beaver.
Rhode Island College.
It's a D3 school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we thought it was University of Rhode Island, where Jackson goes.
Different Rhode Island, yeah. The 1-2 is a high, deep drive to right field. Otsuka's back, and he makes the catch and slams into the wall. Hangs on to the ball somehow for the second out.
Man, that's got to hurt a little bit, but Otsuka's taking it like a champ. Holy moly. He catches the ball, and immediately as he squeezed it, just punched in the face by that wall, basically.
Yeah.
That was straight on. It's not like it didn't seem like he was expecting it at all. Usually we see guys reaching out, feeling up for the wall.
Yeah, so
then
true.
They settle there, and they kind of make the catch. He just was like, I'm getting this ball no matter what. Catches it and just totally gets annihilated.
Trey Cruz takes a ball upstairs, still with a chance to extend his two-game hit, his streak of 2 hit games. As ball 2 is low. He had a home run in the 4th inning, walked and scored in the 6th. Takes ball number 3, and he's ahead 3-0 now.
Give it to me, Trey. Swing on 3-0 just to get this hit.
I believe 8 games is the longest hit streak we've seen now for the Commodores. The 3-0 he takes for a ball, and it's a 4-pitch walk.
That was hittable.
Come on, Trey. Don't you know what's? Do you think he knows?
It's such a good broadcast point, Austin. I really want him to have 2 hits every single
we can
straight
still
game.
say something where it's like 8-game hitting streak, 6 of those 2 hits.
Right.
That's still doable.
Yeah.
We can stretch it. Would have been cooler to say 4 straight games with 2 hits.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. He should be thinking of us more. I totally agree. Strike number 1 comes into Tyler Ross.
Reason I said Austin when I was explaining myself there is because the players are right below us here at Wareham, which makes everything awkward.
It does.
So he stared right at me when I said it was hittable.
Right.
And I had to explain myself. It was also like at the letters, which textbook is a strike, but whatever. I'll get off that soapbox.
Ball 1 is high to the switch hitting Tyler Ross, who I believe has batted as a lefty every time today. Trey Cruz slides in safely. So yeah, we should explain the cage, right?
They lock us up in here.
Yeah,
force us to broadcast.
Right. We can't go to the bathroom. We can't get any water. Broken bat single over towards third base, and it's actually snagged by Matt McLean with a rifle over to first. Tyler Ross had a broken bat that literally went down the third base line. Matt McLean moved in and delivered a quick throw. Tyler Ross is out on the ground out. He moves to 1 for 4 on the day with a flyout, single, strikeout, and ground out. The Doors score no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Final chance for Wareham. They are down 3 on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back here in the bottom of the 7th inning, David Korzanowski joined alongside Danny LaRose. We were joined earlier by our sideline reporter, Katie Florio. We got to finish explaining where we are.
Yeah, so it's this elevated platform that you have to climb up with a ladder.
We're not joking right now either.
Yeah, it's an actual ladder that they give you to climb up because it's kind of like a tree house. I don't know. If I had like a little microwave in here, I think it would be cool. But it's like
I love how that's the first thing you wish you would have is a microwave.
But it's like this elevated little platform, and it's got this netting all around us so that obviously we don't get our heads and laptops taken out by foul balls. Not that any have actually hit up here.
Right. So if you guys
we're right elevated above the dugout.
Right. So if you guys can visualize a baseball field, we are usually planted along the fence, usually either staring down the first baseline or staring down the third baseline. We're on one side or the other depending on what field we're at. But when we're at Wareham, we are literally on top of the Falmouth dugout.
Yes.
So if we say anything not even negative. If we say the wrong stats, we're getting looks from the players.
Yes, and from the medical training interns.
Yes. Sean Mullins on the mound. And the first pitch he delivers to Matt McClain, he hits him on the shoulder. That's his teammate at UCLA. And Matt McClain immediately looked and kind of had a double take and started laughing.
You think it was on purpose?
Sean Mullen didn't break his serious face at all. So I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Now he's kind of showing a little bit of a smile.
Sean Mullen's a serious guy when he pitches.
Very. First pitch is a strike down the middle to Dallas Beaver. I think it was on purpose.
You think so? Just for a little bit of fun?
Because Matt McClain literally just started laughing at first.
Yesterday he texted him, I bet you won't hit me tomorrow. Sean was like, all right, bet.
Sean Mullen, one of 2 UCLA Bruins on this 2019 Falmouth Commodores team. Dallas Beaver with a hard hit ground ball that leaks into right field. Moving and throwing in is Zach DeLoach, so a no-out single for Dallas Beaver puts runners on second and first with nobody out.
Already some trouble for Sean Mullen, who ran into a ton his last outing. He has been pretty spectacular this season. Before then, he had 4 outings where he had only allowed 2 earned runs total, but his last time out at Bourne was that 14-0 shellacking the Commodores were given about 11 days ago. Through a third of an inning, 4 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks. Couldn't get out of the inning, even though the Doors just needed him for some mop-up duty. So he's looking for a bounce-back outing.
No outs and 2 runners on. Strike 1 to Benjamin Sems, who's 1 for 2 today. He had an RBI single in the second, grounded out in the 5th. Matt McClain started things off getting hit by a pitch. Dallas Beaver with a single after him. Tying run now at the plate. He fouls off the second pitch he sees, 0-2.
Yeah, things have felt a little too comfortable for Falmouth, and knowing this Gateman team, they don't play that way.
Right.
Every game is close with them.
Mullen looking for his first save of the summer. He's appeared 5 times, and as you mentioned, his last time out, he got hit around quite a bit against Bourne. Before that, he was locked down, had his ERA at 2.7, and his ERA went up at 5 after that third of an inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First base is occupied, so Sems is a strikeout victim, 1 down.
Man, he was swinging at nothing on that. That ball skipped in the dirt about 2 feet in front of home plate, but Sems was completely fooled. Really, I mean, maybe just a little too over-eager to try to get a hit and make something happen.
It's up to hitters 8 and 9 to keep this ball game alive for Wareham. Tora Atsuka on deck, Mike Antico. Otsuka with a huge play out in right field for the second out of the 7th inning on a hard hit ball from Zach DeLoach. Otsuka checks his swing but takes a strike on the outside black. Otsuka goes to San Diego. Rising junior who batted .287 last year. Strike number 2 on the inside black, and now 0-2.
Otsuka had completely turned away from that. I thought it was going to hit him on the leg the way he reacted. All of a sudden, it's called for a strike. So either it had a ton of movement that we weren't able to see, or Tora's just standing on the very inside part of the plate.
Mullen shakes off Troy Clonch a couple times. Otsuka calls for time, steps out of the box. Otsuka, a little guy, 5'9", 190. Plays mainly center field out at school. His first team all-conference this past year. Mullen with a look back to his teammate at second base, kicks and delivers. Ground ball onto Cantrell. He bobbles it, goes to Trey Cruz for 1, who eats it instead of throwing to Tyler Ross for the double play. Perhaps could have ended the game, but Hayden Cantrell bobbling the transfer a little bit. 2 outs, and now the last chance with Mike Antico up at the plate.
Yeah, I'm sure Hayden wants it back. Just that slight bobble, and Otsuka with plenty of speed to get first base on time. And now Antico still represents the tying run at home plate. Obviously, you're not expecting a home run, but you still got to be careful, especially because anything can happen.
Matt McLean now at third. Tora Otsuka at first. Swing and a miss from Antico, strike one. Went fastball right down the middle. Antico couldn't tee it up. Sean Mullen with runners on the corners delivers a second pitch. Peel down to third base. He did not go around. Mullen with a 0 ERA during his freshman year. Only in 6 1/3 innings of work, he picked up 1 win, 5 walks and 6 strikeouts.
Efficient.
Definite efficiency, that's for sure. From Bakersfield, California. The 1-1. Strike right down the middle. Looked like a changeup, 1-2. One strike away from a third win against the Gatemen. Sean Mullen looks in to Troy Clont, shakes him off once, settles in the stretch, glove right in front of his chest. Left leg up and delivers, slider outside that Antico lays off, 2-2. Antico in the batter's box that is now completely covered by shade. Mullen still on the mound with the sun beating down on him. The 2-2. Change up, strike 3, got him swinging. Sean Mullen gets 2 strikeouts after letting the 2 runners get on base. And the Commodores win game 1 of the doubleheader, 5-2. It's their 3rd win of the year against Wareham, moving them that much closer to first place in the West Division. Danny, let's start with the hitting, especially in that 6th inning. Commodores bats came alive, a couple home runs and 5 runs against this solid Wareham pitching staff.
Yeah, 5 runs over 7 innings of work is nothing to shake your head at. I mean, it's no 15-6 like we were seeing against Chatham recently, but it gets the job done. And this Falmouth team has been winning a lot of pretty close games. This is starting to feel like real competitive baseball. We were able to see that a little bit in early July, where it seemed like every star was on the Cape. Everybody was starting to put together really good summers. They were getting into the groove of things. And lately, we have seen some great games. I mean, a 4-3 loss to Brewster, a 2-0 win against Hyannis, 3-1 over Wareham last game, now 5-2. Everything has been really, really close lately, real competitive. And Falmouth, right up there, playing competitive baseball with some of the top teams on the Cape. Wareham specifically, gotta love it. You don't need to score every single run, but they're scoring enough, and they're getting great pitching that they're looking like one of the smoothest teams.
How about this, Danny? In their last 3 games, totaling now 25 innings, if I did my math right, 25 innings, they've only allowed 1 earned run. Pitching
Unreal.
staff has been outstanding.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to get when you got Majinski and Aleman throwing. I mean, those 2 are your 2 aces. They're such a lucky team to have 2 aces, and those guys performed like it.
Carmen Majinski pitches 5 innings of work, gets his first win of the summer, moves to 1-0. Getting the loss for Wareham is Brandon Fott. It's his first of the summer. His record is now 2-1. Wareham Gatemen fall to 17-14-1. The Commodores 16-12-1, just 2 points back on first place. We will be back in about 45 minutes here on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network for game number 2. For now, final of game number 1 is 5-2 in favor of the away Commodores. 5 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Falmouth, 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors for the Gatemen, and Falmouth is now 3-0 against their rivals from across the bridge. For my partner, Danny LaRose, for our sideline reporter, Katie Florio, and my producer, Jamie Miller, I'm David Korzanowski saying so long from the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. We'll be back in just about an hour for game number 2.